Hi everyone, I'm going to talk today about a particular word that children do struggle a little bit with, but they love this word and they love this thing, so they love to write about it. So we need to help them get it right from the beginning. So the word is animal. Now, it doesn't seem too tricky to us, but it's got two very tricky parts to it. Sound it out. I'm going to sound it out and see if you can pick up on it. This word has got two schwa vowels. If you haven't heard of a schwa, you'll get very familiar with it with me. The schwa is a vowel that is an empty vowel. It's an empty sound. And the way we define it is it's the sound. It can be any vowel letter, but it's always that sound. And in Australian English, we do it all the time. And we'll talk more about schwas another time. But the reason it's tricky is that if you close your eyes and you don't know a particular word, it's not like a sound like A or O where you think, oh, okay, so it's probably going to be the letter A with something else or the letter O. There's no clue with a schwa as to what that letter might be to represent it in a word. What you need to know is the structure of the word and maybe some morphemes or the root of the word. So you kind of need to know a little bit more about the word to be able to spell it correctly. Now, this is pretty cool. And this is one of the reasons why it's really important to teach words in association with other words in really meaningful ways. The word animal has got the root A-N-I, right? And this root means to breathe. Another word that has got the same root and a very similar structure and spelling is the word animate. And they are both related because an animal is a breathing being and animate means to bring to life. Okay, when you're animated, you're very lively. To animate a picture means to bring it to life. And animation is a picture that's brought to life. Okay, it's a moving picture. So they're related to the word breathe. So we want to draw attention to the fact that these two words, or even more, so animal, animation, animate, even words like anime, which is the Japanese word that they use in animation, they are all related to this root, A-N-I. So if we include that as part of our instruction and show children that this same pattern appears in these words that are all related to breathing, then they can start to have a better understanding and it gives them an anchor point to help them make a better choice for this letter I in words like animal, for example. So I'm going to put animal back. The other part, the other tricky schwa is this one at the end. Now, some children might see this AL combination quite often, and so they might not struggle with it as much, but you could have the conversation with them. Well, animal, remember, it's related to animation, so we know that after the this has to be the letter A, because when words are related to one another, the spelling remains very consistent, even if it sounds a little bit different. So this is my argument for why we really need to draw connections between words when we're teaching them so students can start to group words in their long-term memory, because our long-term memory is relational. We don't just learn the word animal and then set it aside, and then learn the word animate and set it aside. They're all networked together, and we want to make sure that the kids can see those connections. So draw attention to the really meaningful part, draw attention to the parts that might be tricky, and then try and find some strategies that are really meaningful to help them remember. If they're really struggling with this letter I, we can talk about breathing in. We have to add the letter I in there because we breathe in, for example. So that might be something that would be useful as well. So let's all spell the word animal correctly from this day forth.